Yeah. So as you know, we have two important procedures where we normally use them to either import or export data. Okay. In terms of importing and exporting, we have quite a few procedures and data step procedure, and data step process. And on top of it, we have we even have GUI procedure, right? With the user interface procedure. Now we can
Okay.
either import in this way from this one. Remember, ma'am? Upload and
Yeah.
download. Okay. Yeah, the same thing
Mm-hmm.
we can even do with the help of proc import and proc export. Yeah. So let's try with proc. So not this upload and display. Once we upload data, we just we just run it. So based on in terms of few buttons, that's it. On the other hand, we even have coding part also with the help of proc import and proc export. So let's go through proc import. So basically, proc import reads data from from multiple external sources and writes it to the SAS dataset. So in terms of external sources, can be of Excel, Excel, CSV, Access, MS Access files, etc. We have quite a few files in which you know it. And in terms of either it can either it can be a delimited file or a normal basics text file. So not text file, there are no delimited file or non-delimited file. Anything we can import through proc import. Okay. So for example, in terms of delimited files such as blank, comma, or no, or tab or tab separated files. Okay, so we can even import these kind of files, and moreover, um, mostly in real time, I would say mostly we just use or importing exporting more will hardly consume 5% of our work. Okay, yeah. So mostly we just get data in terms of flat files. Okay, whenever we get data flat files, we can use proc import or proc export. If you want to export the data into the out of the SAS environment. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of we can even import blank, other comma separated files with the help of some base SAS implementation, right? We have in file statement. Remember, ma'am? Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in that way, we can just read data from those flat files. No, we want some kind of more advanced version of it. We can use proc import to to just import these kind of Excel files, CSV, Access files, and all. Yeah, and syntax is quite. I mean, it needs to be it needs to be remembered. First is proc import data file equal to. Okay, the first is proc import. It's a common two words where it is used for proc import. Next option is data file. Data file will be of raw data location. So what is the location of the file, including the file name and the file type, okay, or the file extension. And this is out. Out is something called a data set. So you are pulling the file into the SAS environment, and you are converting the file to SAS dataset, right, with the help of out function. Sorry, out option. So in terms of out option, either you can add a library reference name, or else if you just leave it, it'll get stored in a work folder. If you want to save it, you can just mention a library reference dot dataset name. Okay. So DBM is something that what kind of file is it? Okay. And next one replace. No, I'll tell you, what is replace. Okay. And next one we have get names equal to yes or no, no data row, and guessing rows. Okay. So for example, in types of in MS Excel, right, we have sheets, right? So in terms of sheet, I want to only import one particular sheet, right? Not all the sheets. So I simply use the sheet name. By default, it'll pull the first sheet. But if you want to pull some kind of another sheet, you can just mention the sheet equal sheet name. Okay. So all these are options here. Sorry. All these are options here. Yeah. So these are other kind of an options. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. So let's start with each, one kind of an example. First is data file, file location, right? File location. So data file is something that, so file location. So what does file location have? So file location will have the, the location of the file and the file name with the extension. Okay. So make sure it should always be in quotations. Okay. Yeah. Next one. Out. Out equals as dataset. So once you import a file, you want to make sure that needs to be exported into the SAS dataset, right? So that's when we use out equal to SAS dataset. So you can mention whichever SAS dataset name you want, but it should be as per the but it should be uh just a second, ma'am. Yeah. Sorry for that, ma'am. Yeah. So where are we? Yeah, at the out equal out dataset. Okay. Yeah. So either we can mention in terms of out, either we can mention the library name dot file name, or else just the file name. If you mention just the file name, then it gets saved into a work folder or the work library, right, ma'am? So in terms of dataset name, it should follow the dataset name base as dataset naming convention. Okay, not the name which you in which you like it. Okay. Next one, table equal table name. Second, table equal table name. Okay, so this is, yeah. Let's omit this one, ma'am. This is not required here. Yeah. But next one is DBMS identifier. Okay, so you provide a file name, right? Like it can be .csv, .txt, sorry, .txt, .excel, okay, dot some other files. Okay, so in order to identify what kind of file is it to the SAS, we use DBMS equal to identifier. Okay, let me show you what kind of DBMS we have. Yeah, you see here we have we have all these kind of a DBMS, right? So DBM is something that it's called database management system. Okay. It just is, I mean, database is not some, I mean, here, I know database can be of a small, I mean, an Excel is all, in Excel is also a database, which just stores data, right? A small database. So, we have multiple databases. So, as it's a small database, we call it as a file. That's it. So, in terms of large data stored, we call them to be a databases. Okay. Yeah. So in terms of we usually load what Excel files, CSV files, or no some kind of dot delimited files or tab files. I mean the dot txt files, right? So if it is the dot txt, so you have mentioned in the location, it's dot txt, sorry, dot txt file. You will mention in the DBMS equal to tab, right? Tab. And if it is a CSV file, you mention CSV. And if it is an Excel file, you will mention Excel. Okay. I mean, if it's a dot x, so the extension will be dot xls, and the DBMS will be Excel. I mean, the current is XLSX, ma'am. Okay. So that is DBMS. And replace. So replace is something that it just overwrites the existing SAS dataset. Okay. So for no for example, you already imported something a long back with the with the same name, and you want to import with the same name, and if you don't use replace, it just throws an error stating that no, you already have a file. Okay, you already have a
Okay.
file. I mean, I would say an error. So in order to not to have it, we'll just mention replace as an option. Even even if you mention the same name in the in the new out equal to dataset name, it'll just replace the previous file. Yeah. Next one. Data row equal to 1 to 3 to 767. Okay. Yeah. Ah, yeah. So there's something that you know yeah, just a second. Yeah. So it's something that whenever you want to read data from a specific row number. So mostly, you will read, you will always read data, data from the first row, but sometimes there'll be, instances where you read the data from the first or second row. Because first or sometimes what happens is it will be in terms of a column names, right? Column names. Okay. So either you mention, data are equal to 1 or 2 or 3. So based on it, it will start reading the data. Right, ma'am?
Okay.
Next one, delimiter. Okay. It's a delimiter sometimes it is called. Okay. So specifies the the delimiter that separates columns, okay, columns of data in the input file. Okay. You can specify the delimiter as a single character or a hexadecimal value. Okay. So we know it, right? During the during the discussion on infile statement, we used to mention delimiter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the same kind of delimiter will be here. Now, for example, if the column of data are separated by ampersand, yeah, we just specify delimiter equal to ampersand. Okay. And next one, if you have if you do not have delimiter equal, if you don't specify no if you don't specify delimiter equal to some kind of some kind of a delimiter, so the default import procedure
Space.
assumes it to be a space. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So in terms of valid values are any char, okay, space. So mostly it will be space. So any char and then x, these are all kind of values which you mentioned in the delimiter. Next one. Next one is get names equal to yes or no. Okay. So get names is something that whenever you want to read, you want to read this here, specifies whether the input procedure generates SAS variables, okay, SAS variable names from the data values in the first record. So if you want that to be get names equal to no, okay, no, so it won't import the first row of a particular data, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you want it, it'll just read the first row of the data into a SAS dataset. Clear?
Yeah.
Next one. Yeah. So these are kind of an options which we normally use in terms of uh, data rows. I mean the proc import. So these are some of examples which we have. So let's start with simple example. Let's start with simple example of yeah, or PDF. Excel files. So we have here Excel file. Okay. Yeah. So I'll just simply mention let's go to properties. So this particular code which you are seeing, it's a desktop version. So I can directly export data, so import data from the import data from the desktop itself, from document and settings and okay. But this to be a SAS Studio, what I'll do first I'll upload data into the SAS Studio environment and then I'll import that into the SAS environment, right, ma'am?
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You see, so this extension got updated to Excel SX. Okay. So if you run this, so the first line is proc import. Second, okay, that's not the first two words are proc import. Access data file equal to so and so. No data file equal to location followed by uh, document name dot extension. Okay.
Extension.
Yeah. Out equal to either we can mention work dot or if no or if we don't mention it, it will by default get stored in a work location. And
Okay.
dbm is equal to Excel. Okay. If you run this part, let's try will this work or not. It didn't. You see, dbms type Excel not valid for proc import. So dbms Excel hasn't means that this has been updated. So let's try some other.
Mm.
Okay. Now you see. So we have the data in this way. Right, ma'am? If you go to the log, you
Okay.
see one or more variables are converted because the data type is not supported by V9 engine. Okay. For more details, run with options. So there is there's a kind of global options. Yeah. So that is one kind of an uh, here we use only one option called DBMS. Okay. That's the
So
same thing
what
here.
variables are converted? What is the meaning of that log?
That's the second. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So converted in the sense because the data type is not supported by the V9 engine. So
Okay.
okay, V9 engine is something that it's called an it is the environment which a SAS runs. Okay, I mean a SAS
Yeah.
Studio or a
Okay.
SAS runs. Okay, so we have V6, we have V9. Okay, so based on it, few types of commands will change, and few types of commands will change. Okay, so whenever we
Okay.
do import data, so the data should be compatible with the V9 engine. Okay. If it is
Okay.
not compatible, it just converts according to its compatibility.
Mhm.
Okay. If you see here, so what I so it converted name to character, sex to sorry character, and age
Mm.
to numeric, and height to numeric, and weight to numeric. Right. So based on it.
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. Yeah. So if the not, if the, no, if the file is kind of an old file. I mean, it's an old file, but even it has a division of characters and numeric. But that, no, the but that kind of data is not supported by our environment. So it just converts according to our will.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a kind of a automated process which we doesn't require much to get concerned. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's something happened. It is not okay. Oh, yeah. Next one. Yeah. Yeah. If the sample data set already is in library, okay, what we use replace option to override the existing one. Okay. So here what happened, ma'am, if you see, if I simply use this part and run this again, you see now. Okay, import cancel. Okay. Output dataset work sample already exists. Right, ma'am? It only, even it'll mention you, but it'll tell you that specify replace option to override it. Right? So we use here replace option. Yeah. So you see, it got it got overwritten. Right now, next one. Yeah. So basically, by default, I mean, it's the next option is get names. So by default, get names is always yes, which means by default you'll get the data. Okay, this data, which the data in this Excel SX in terms of the of the column names directly into the SAS dataset. That's by default. Okay. So if you want to change it, you mention it to get names equal to no. So let's try with that. So yeah, yeah. Uh, I just simply mention get names equal to no. Yeah. You see, previously what we used to have name, sex, age, height, and weight, right? Now we got A, B, C, D, E. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Previously, it used to be not ABCD, but in terms of, some 3 to 4 digit words, so letters, but, it got upgraded to ABCD. Okay. Yeah. So if you want to, so you can change the ABCD with column names. But if you want even the column name, just by default, it's equal to yes. Sorry. Okay. By default, it's equal to yes. If you don't mention yes, it still performs. Yeah. Yeah. One. Yeah. Clear, ma'am, on this get names?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, previously, we used to get var1, var2, var3. So it got changed to so yeah. So it is get names equal to no. If I just mention no, so we got ABCD, right? So previously, we used to get
Yes.
when variable one, variable two, variable three in that way. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah. Next one. Yeah. So what we do in this case, okay, let's see the other way. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what we do get names equal to no, and we do data row equal to 2. What happened? Oh, yeah. Did you see any what do you call?
Yeah.
Do you see any kind
The
of
column
yeah, yeah. So this
in
what
the
so
first row, the column names are in the output.
exactly. This is the vulnerability when we use get names equal to no. Okay. So we use normally get names and data row, you know, in a parallel way. Okay. So if you mention, no, so tell me what happens now if you mention data row equal to 2 and get names equal to no.
If data row equal to 2, then the SAS reads from the second row. We have to get the values
Yeah, second row itself,
from the
yes.
second row.
Hmm.
And get names equal to no, we are omitting the where column names.
Right.
Then again, why we got the column names in the output? I don't
No, no,
understand.
get names is not omitting the column names, ma'am. It's not to consider the first row as a column names.
Okay.
Got it?
But the starting is from second. We have to get the values from the second only.
Sorry?
Then data row equal to 2 means we are telling SAS to read to get the values from the
Hmm.
second row only, no?
Exactly. Yeah.
Then why it is considering the first row?
Which one, ma'am? It's second row, right?
First,
Alfred.
yeah, previously we got the column names, no?
No, Alfred is second row, right? In the Excel file.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's fine.
Okay. No, no, don't think of a data set. Think of an Excel file. Okay? Yeah.
Okay.
So just imagine in Excel file how the data will be. We'll have rows and columns, right? So
Yeah.
rows, so no, in terms of in terms of columns, no, sorry, no, in terms of columns we'll have A, B, C, D. In terms of rows, we'll have 1, 2, 3, and so on, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what are A, B, C, Ds? They are the default columns of Excel, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So what does rows have? In the first row, we'll have what is sorry?
The name, age, and
Yeah.
everything.
No, the first row will have the column names, which we mentioned. The second row will have, will have the data, right? So what does SAS
Yeah.
do? It simply dumps the data into the data set such that if you mention the get names equal to yes, it'll consider the first row of
Mm.
the Excel file into as a column names into the output data set. If you mention no, it'll just simply ignore the first row as the column names and it'll just add the first row to the data part itself.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
Yeah. So on contrary, so now we use if you get names equal to no, we use data row equal to 2 such that we get data from the second row.
From the data part only. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. Clear, ma'am?
Yeah.
Okay. Pamit, ma'am, any questions here? Okay. No questions, ma'am?
Yeah, I have so much background noise, so I muted my. I'm
Okay.
okay. Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. So get names equal to no. Okay. I don't have any sheet in here. Yeah. But let it be. Let's import this and I'll show you the error. You see? Could not find the sheet in spreadsheet. Okay. So that will be the error. By default, let me see if I have any kind of a sheets. Just a second, man. See if I have any data in PySpark. Yeah. Yeah, I'll just do one thing. I'll just import this Pigmart sales. Behaving in a weird way. Yeah, I can get this a second. Huh? Let me upload something. Upload. Go to properties. Okay. Let's go to know sheet 1. Sheet 1. Okay. Yeah. You see, we got sheet 1. We mentioned sheet 1, we got the data of it, sheet 1. Got it, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now whichever sheet you mention, you get the data of the particular sheet. Clear, ma'am? Any
So
questions on
can
this?
if
Yeah.
we want any two particular sheets, can we mention like sheet one, sheet four like that?
No, so what we do is it's only one sheet at one time at once, ma'am. Okay. Because we
Okay.
create one data set out of one sheet, right?
Uh-huh.
Not multiple sheet, because we only have out equal to one data set, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So we create one sheet out of one data set.
Okay.
So okay. So here what you do is you automate this portion of uh, getting multiple sheets at once. Okay. So here we use macros, which we're gonna
Okay.
discuss in the next session. But this is what we do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Next one. The proc export. So done with proc import, ma'am. Do you have any questions on it?
No, it's clear.
Okay. Pamit, ma'am, any questions?
No, Rajiv.
Okay.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Yes. Yeah. So next one is proc export. No, export is something that what we create in terms of size dataset, we export that to an external source. Okay, that is proc export, right, ma'am? Yeah. So we can export in terms of yeah. The proc export reads data from SAS datasets and writes it to an external dataset or data source. That includes MS Access, Excel, Lotus spreadsheet, delimited files. In terms of delimited files can be of a tab, blank, comma, space, all types of files. Okay. So export in the sense of proc export data equal to library reference dot SAS. Either you can choose data, if you don't mention any kind of a library dot here, you will simply the SAS simply gets data from the work library. Okay. Next one. Out file equal to, it's if we see here, we can even mention SAS dataset options. Okay, ma'am, getting it?
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Out file equal to file name or out table equal to table name, and DBM is equal to identifier label replace. Put names yes or no, sheet equal sheet name. Okay, let's go to one by one. First is dataset. Data equal dataset. So it is a data set which matches with the this data set name. It matches with the data set name. So which is available in physical in terms of SAS. Next one, out file. The same thing. So previously we used data file. Remember, ma'am?
Yeah.
Previously we used data file out equal
Data
data
file.
set,
Fine.
and now here we are using data equal data set out. Sorry. No, the data equal data set out file equal to file name. File name in the sense file name first is file location
File
followed by file name
location.
and the
File
extension.
extension.
Okay, that will be in terms of out file.
Okay.
Next one, DBMS identifier. Okay, so whichever specify whichever export you do it, you mention the identifier of it, either Excel or CSV or any other files. Okay. Next one, this ProcExport. Let's deep dive into the examples part, ma'am. Let's take this one. Also, we create our own, ma'am. We create our own. Okay. Yeah. You see here, as you can't send to the out of the SAS Studio. Okay. Yeah, just mention a simple location over here. Let's take this location, copy this, and paste it over here. Okay. Export is the folder. Now, cars dot xlsx. Okay. dbm is equal to xlsx.
XLX.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Now I'll run it. So my entire data got imported to of
XYD
420
file.
xyd folder cars.xlsx. I can download either I can download this particular data. If you see here, where is it, ma'am?
Fine.
Yeah, this one.
After adverse. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So here we can use multiple options. What I'll do is I'll just only come to this one. Okay. I just mentioned dbm is equal to tab dot txt file. Okay. What happened? Just a second, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry for that. Yeah. So here, we export data. Okay, we export data to our in terms of tab, right? So whenever we export data in terms of tab, we get data in this way. So this ProcExport code, it gets converted to a base SAS code in this way. Okay. So why it is file option, ma'am, not in file?
Because we are exporting
Exactly. Right.
in file is there to
Yeah.
do.
If
Yeah.
you use if it is in file, we are importing it, right? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these are two kind of error kind of an error detection macros which we use normally in terms of whenever we see we have whenever whenever we want to observe the error if we get any. Okay, the first data null file with the file name we see .txt, delimiter equal to 09x. So now it's kind of a delimiter, which helps us to make sure the file will be in terms of a tab delimited. Okay, so dsd drop over LRC equal to 326 32767, right? So if underscore n underscore equal to 1, then do put name. Okay, name. So name, sex, age, height, weight. So this is all tab delimiter, sorry, tab delimiter formats. We use input and put, right? Next one,
Yeah.
end here. So set sasab dot class. Okay, yeah. Use format and yeah. So this is a kind of a code which normally the SAS converts it to a base SAS code and then provides us in the log. If you run this entire code the same way, it will get successfully created. Okay, it'll run, without any errors. Just copy this code and paste it in the editor and run it. Okay, yeah. You see here, we got the data in this folder dot home xyd folder with the class.txt file. Right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one is label. So label is a kind of an option for this for this proc export. Okay, so it writes SAS labels as a column names to the exported table. Okay, it just writes because we have one column name and we want that to be renamed as some other column name. We just simply mention label. Okay, so it writes SAS label names as a column name to the exported table. You see, if SAS label name does not, if SAS label name does not exist, then the variable names are used as a column names in the exported table. Okay, for example, I use label here. So for instance, if you do, for instance, so what is the label which we use, ma'am? Hello?
Use sex equal to gender.
Right. Next one. So now we are exporting this data to the external source.
Okay.
Okay, we'll mention Excel SX. Excel SX. Okay. Excel SX. Label. So let's start without label. Okay. Ma'am, just a moment. I'm just getting a call. Just a second.
Okay.
Yeah. What's happening here, ma'am? We could not name the temporary file to Excel name. Why is it?
Because it got affected by the backslash after XYD.
No, we use the same here, right? It worked here properly. Okay, now it's fine. Might be. Okay. So it got created, so it got successfully created, right? Let's see the data.
Okay.
Class.xlsx in XYT. Let's download this. Yeah, we can't view the code. In order to view the code, we need to download this file. Let's download this file. Yeah. See, without label, what we got, ma'am? We got sex, right?
Yeah. Are you
Hmm.
showing the file?
Oh, sorry, you can't. You couldn't. Sorry. Okay, let me just share the screen again. Forward now. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yeah, you see? Without label, we
Yeah.
got it as a
We
sex,
got 6
right?
only. Yeah.
Yeah, let's run with the label.
Export answers.
Okay, no problem. So you got the idea, right? Why is it?
Yeah.
Why was it
Yeah. Yes.
unsuccessful? Okay, yeah. Okay, now we use replace here. No, that is the issue with this particular SAS Studio. And we need to go to many things. Just print out. Yes, so we got gender here.
Very good gender.
Yeah, in this way. And so we use label option. Next one, replace. You know it. No, we just
Yeah.
face an issue with the replace. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Next one, put names. So in import we had get names,
Get
and
names.
now we'll have put names. Put in something that either we use our names uh, into the external file, or else we don't use it. Okay. So that the default is yes. It means it writes the column names in the SAS data file into the external file. But if we specify no, it won't write SAS column names into the external file. Okay. Let's see how does it work. Sorry. Not this one, but let me just. Again, TXT. Okay. Text should be better. Okay, if you use put names here, put names equal to no.
Mm.
Yeah. You see, there is no names in the first row. Right? No, we got the data as it is. Right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes. So, if you want it to be a put names, but default it is yes. Either you can mention yes here, or else if you don't mention put name equal to yes, it'll still be yes. So what it will do, be download it. Yeah, you see. Okay, but whenever you use txt no dot txt file, ma'am. Okay, no, I mean you were able to see the dot txt file, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Whenever you use dot txt file, so make sure you don't. Okay. Make sure. Um. I mean, what happens is, we never rely on names, the column names of dot txt file. We always create our own our own column names whenever we either import it or export it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Next one is sheet name. Okay. So into which sheet this particular data should be exported.
Exported.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see, I mean, by default it'll have the dataset name, okay, the sheet name, okay. Uh, Second, downloads and yeah, I guess by default it should have sheet name. By default it'll be the sheet name. The sheet name will be the dataset name, okay. But if you are no, if you are no, what do you call, you're exporting sh no, using a single Excel file and exporting into the data into multiple sheets. Okay, so let's just go to that. For example, I have this class.xlsx file. Okay, xlsx, that too class. Okay,
In out file, it is XLS.
yeah, I guess that should do. Export. What happened? Okay, let's. Sorry,
X is missing.
no, path name is not correct.
Okay.
Yeah, for your sake, we just SLSX. Okay, so it got created in the class sheet. And now what I need to do, I want to use the same file and export cars data to the same file. Right, ma'am? Sorry. Okay, now let's see what happens in the Excel. Shit. A different name. It's okay. Now let's see. Yes, is class XLSS. Yeah, you see, we have class and cars data.
Pass. Yeah.
Okay, in this way we can import multiple sheets into one in one Excel file. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is So this out table is something that, ma'am, it exports this class data set into a database called MS Access. And currently we don't have it right now in our in our file, but I guess previously we used to have MS Access databases, because MS Access used to have kind of a it'll maintain structured data in a simplified way. Okay, but we have more and bigger databases which we normally use it. Okay, so this is not much important.
Mm.
Exporting data into CSV file. Okay, yeah, same thing. .csv. The only change is .csv, CSV here. That's it. Nothing else. So yes, it'll be in a common separated value file. Common separated value file. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Next one. Export data to Excel file, which we have been doing it for the past few minutes. Next one is options. So how to use options here? Okay. For example, I can use options here, and I want to just only specify export only the female data. So I mentioned data equal to dataset name, options. Now you can use keep, drop, rename, and all the options which you have in terms of dataset. So here what I'm using where equal to sex equal to F. So this will only export data pertaining to female. Got it,
Female.
ma'am?
Yeah.
If you want, I can show you the data.
Got it.
Yeah, I'll show you the data just a second. No, we'll work in CSV format. What happened? CSV, we export CSV, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. We got the data, right? It's only female data, right, ma'am?
Yeah.
Ma'am? Yeah, okay.
Yes, sir.
Next one. Now we have multiple files. Exporting the file into tab .txt file. Okay, .txt file. As you know. So why do we use .txt file, ma'am? With we tried it, right. Put names equal to no, which means it don't we don't export our column names
Column
.txt file,
names.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah. For example, if you want to if you want to mention, instead of space, so previously we saw space as a space, right, in the .txt file. Okay. If you want to mention, delimiter equal to comma. Okay. Mention delimiter equal to comma separately, and you get the data as in this way. Okay. Class dot so basically class is txt. Yeah, if you see the data here, it'll be in comma separated, right? Right, ma'am? So previously we used to have
Yeah.
data in terms of space separated, now it is comma separated.
Okay.
We can either mention space, double space, and we have uh, other kind of delimiter right in this way, 20x. So this is kind of a space delimiter. Let's see. Yeah, it's kind of a single space, no, delimited file, ma'am. Okay, so we have quite a few, okay, no, non-delimits in this way. 20x, we have, just a moment. I'll just tell you how does this work. Okay, yeah, just a moment. I'll show you. So, we have quite a few, varieties of this kind of data. Okay, I'll show you the last. So, we'll just, deal with the other ones. Yeah. So this one is asterisk. We can develop. We can just create asterisk files. Okay. In terms of asterisk as delimiter. And here we have cas delimiter. If you see what, if you want to see what is cas delimiter, cat delimiter. So let's see through it. So here, if you see, DBMS will be DLM, but not tab. Okay, because we are mentioning different delimiters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. In this way. Just a second. We'll just compare the data in here. How is the data, ma'am? Do we have SAS broadcast data? Yeah. So we have name, sex, age, height, and weight. Okay. And now we mentioned Alfred
Name and
C69.
height.
Sorry?
We are getting only name and height.
Yeah.
We are keeping
S-
only name and height.
Uh, this. So it's kind of a CAD delimiter, ma'am. Let's see. Let me get back to you on this. I kind of don't remember this particular care format, how it is used. Also, we'll do one thing. We'll just search it right over in Google
Okay.
itself. Okay. Uh, okay. You know what is asterisk, right? That is one. Okay. So that is the end of this export. So let's deal with this. Okay. So yeah. Why do we? SAS. How is mentioned? Sorry, just a second. Am I mentioning here anything? Any
No.
kind of? Yeah. Okay. Okay. Name and height, right? Sorry. Okay. So now we
Like,
are. Yes, ma'am.
no, I was thinking of C. We did not mention any C character. How we got C? That name and height I understood.
Okay. Okay.
We are
Okay.
getting
Yeah.
only
Okay. Fine.
between the name and height,
Hmm.
we are getting C in the output.
Yeah.
So
See
how we
some.
got C?
Okay. See something that if you see here clearly. It's something that it's a CAD. It separates the data in terms of C. That's it. Because we use
So if we
CAD.
use car, we get
Mm.
only C. Okay.
Yeah,
And
CAD
why we got
separated.
codes for double codes for certain
Eh,
names
Yeah, I'm just checking. So based on that, okay, a second.
for Alice, Joyce?
Was different. Okay, let me see, ma'am. I'll just tell you tomorrow on this.
Yeah.
So why did we get this?
Okay.
And next one is okay. Yeah, it's okay. What I'll do is I'll just give you more details on CAR and this delimiter 20x. We have quite a few delimiters in terms of 20x, 10x, 9x, and all. Okay. So I know I'll give you more information on the available delimiters tomorrow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So apart from that, anything else, ma'am? Any questions on import and export?
No, it's clear.
Okay. So if there's nothing, now we'll just wrap the session. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, ma'am has put
Thank
something.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's clear. She's also clear with the
Okay,
topic.
okay, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.